So Christmas is approaching, and this is a recipe for some nice picky bits, and we're going to be doing festive mini tarts. And there's going to be different flavours, so we're going to be looking at doing brie and cranberry, a smoked salmon and chive, and also burrata and basil toppings. You can do any kind of toppings you want to use, but this is just what we're going to do today. Right, so first of all, we're just going to prep some of our tomatoes, finely chop them. Okay, so first of all, we've got our packet of puff pastry. We just want to roll this out, and we can leave this exactly the same thickness as it is. And all we do is get a cookie cutter. Use anything, you can use a cup, whatever size you want to do, a glass, and just cut your shapes out, ready? Cut our circles out, we're just going to put this to one side. And then we're going to bring in a baking tray, line it with some baking paper. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a dollop of olive oil. And then what we want to do is just a very small amount of balsamic vinegar. So then we get our sliced cherry tomatoes, and we just want to put three or two pieces there. Two. Remembering to put them face down, as that's what you'll see when they are cooked. Okay, so the next part, we're just going to grab our lids, and we're just going to stretch them a little bit for the bigger tomatoes and cover them just like that. So now we're just going to egg wash this. So I've got my one egg in here. Just mix this up. And then we're just going to, a little bit of egg wash on each one. Okay, so that's all done now. So all we're going to do now is put this in the oven, 180 for about 15 minutes. Okay, so here we've got the three combinations of toppings that I wanted to do. So we've got the burrata and the basil. We're also going to do salmon, but we're going to make a little cream cheese dip. It's also going to have a bit of salt and some chives. And then we're just going for a classic brie and cranberry. First of all, I'm just going to finely cut up the chives. Right, so we've got our chopped chives, so all we're going to do is add that to this little bit of cream we got. I'm going to hold back a few just to sprinkle over at the end. And then all we're going to do is add a pinch of salt and give that a mix. And then that's all ready to go with the salmon when we put that on top of our tart. Okay, so these have been in for 15 minutes now. And there we've got the nice caramelisation of the tomatoes there as well. So this, just to remind everyone, this is going to be the base for our toppings. So the toppings we've got here ready, so they're all ready. So they're still quite warm, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with the brie. Just a little bit of brie there. So we get the brie on first, hopefully it'll melt just a little for us. A small dollop of cranberry. So you don't need to go crazy, just a little dollop there. If you wanted to, you could always grill the cheese just to melt it a bit. That's the brie and cranberry, so I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do with the burrata is I'm going to add a little bit of balsamic. This is optional, you don't have to use it. And then we're just going to put a little bit of basil on each one. So when you have this, when I have them, I eat them in one go, and it'll give you that hit, the nice hit of the basil. So we've got that there. So now the next thing is we've got burrata. So if you look at the burrata, if you go to the middle of it, it'll be a lot softer. So you only need a little bit. And then we're just going to dunk that on top. So this is very creamy, this burrata. instead of using burrata, you could also use anything like mozzarella, tomato, ricotta. Feta cheese is another good option on this as well. Okay, so that goes on top with that. And then the very final one, we're just gonna do a bit of salmon with the cream cheese we made earlier. So we just want a little spoon, dollops on top. And then we're gonna use this salmon as treating ourselves as it's Christmas. So you could just use salmon trimmings for this bit, it would be a bit cheaper. But as it's Christmas, let's spoil ourselves. Just chuck it on like that, there you go. And then we've got just a little bit of chives. Okay, and then the last thing is optional, just a little bit of oil over the top. So I'm gonna put these on the ones with the burrata and the salmon. Okay, so this is our Christmas picky bits, and what we've got here is our festive mini tarts.